I watched Black Mirror, the movie, and honestly, I have no idea what happened. But let's talk about it anyway. Hey guys, Romie here. Welcome to my channel, Romie Reviews. And we're just doing a quick spoiler-filled recap for the Black Mirror movie. It was actually called Bandersnatch. Now, this is an interactive movie, which means I had no idea. An interactive movie where you basically go and for them to make sure that you feel included and you don't just click off, because the movie itself goes very slow. It goes very slow, or at least it feels slow. And the way that they combat people stop watching is by you having to click. There are a lot of options that you have to click through, and this is through the entire movie. And I'll give you a for instance. Stefan, one of the main characters, he was on the bus. He had to choose which type of song he wanted to listen to. So you chose the song that he listened to. And every choice that you make has an lasting impression on the movie, because there are alternate realities and alternate endings depending on what route you go through. So the basic breakdown is there's this kid named Stefan. He's a video game programmer. This is in the mid 1980s. It looks like he was in the UK, and essentially he's the typical like computer nerd that has antisocial skills. But to make matters worse is that his mother died when he was young, and so he has this very weird relationship with his father, and psychologically it's this weird thing where he thinks his father blames him, but his father kind of blames himself. So there's multiple things going on, but the main thing is there's this man named, he goes to this company that's creating the latest and greatest video games at the time, and one of the main characters is Colin. He's this super duper this mega video game producer, and he actually has a meeting with the head honcho who greenlights his game. And one of the choices that you can do is, will he say yes to the deal or say no? The first time around, I said yes, let's go for it. It didn't work out well, and you could tell that Colin had that look of, I don't think it's going to work. And it didn't work primarily due to the fact that, you have to think about it, someone going from him creating this concept on his own to having a team and having a lot of input and having this short time frame, it's not going to bode well. So essentially the game flopped because he didn't give it enough time to finish through all of the stages and quests that you can do. And so then the next time around I said no. That no led to him working on it independently by himself instead of with the team. And he was in the hole, as they call it. When you're a gamer or programmer in general, there's this term called the hole, where your mind is just fried and you can't think of anything to save your life. You're just like, what's five plus five? Huh? What's a five? It's that bad. And so his father realizes, okay, I need to do something. Now again, this Stefan lost his mother due to a train crash, and it's this weird dynamic where we see that Stefan had his father called it a doll, but it was really just a stuffed rabbit, and it looks like his mom gave him the stuffed rabbit. And because his father-in-law always made fun of the fact that, oh, your son is soft because he has a doll, that's the father went and hid the doll. And so then that caused the day of Stefan's mother to die. The doll went missing because the father took it. And so then his mom went onto the train and she died. Now, like I said, there's a lot of things going on where the usual, he's a teenager, he's upset, he has clearly some psychological issues. That's why he's going to therapy, and the therapist is doing her best, but this therapist, it's not a therapist, I think, was it a psychologist? Are they the ones that can prescribe you medication? That's the type that he went to. So he's taking these pills, and it was weird. The first go around, it's like he was able to reset his day, not reset his day, reset his life, when his game failed the first time. So that's why I said, okay, this is the whole Black Mirror concept. The second time around, when he was in the hole, he, instead of going to his therapist, I said, go and follow Colin. By him following Colin, he went to Colin's house. He saw Colin's baby mama and the baby, and Colin said, I'm going to get you out of the hole by drugs. So weed and probably some type of acid or amphetamines or something. And so they were both super high. And that's when Colin was trying to convince Stefan, all right, one of us is going to jump. I said, no, one of us is not. And thankfully, Stefan, he had enough wherewithal to not volunteer for tribute. But Colin, he was ready to go. So he went right over, offed himself. And so then Stefan ran and hid. And so then he went to sleep, woke up, and it seemed like it didn't happen. But then there was this weird dynamic where Colin wasn't at work. And no one was sure where he is because he often would go off for a couple of days and be MIA. Now, like I said, in this version, he goes, finishes the game. Like, there's one version where Colin's game was doing really well, and then Stefan, another version where things weren't going as well, and there's this maniacal guy who was this, I guess, this mega, like, gamer or something. I don't know the backstory with him. What I do know is that he actually inspired Stefan in the worst way, because this guy killed his wife, cut her head off, covered the whole room in blood, and that's how he came up with all these ideologies and concepts. And Colin took that a little bit too much to heart because his father was a smoker. He took the ashtray, boosh! Again, this is in my version, boosh! Killed his father, and then next thing you know, his game was lit. You can't make this stuff. And then in another reality, we have, you know, him having the mental breakdown. There's apparently this government conspiracy, PAX, and so he thought at one point he was a part of the PAX conspiracy because his computer was typing random stuff. And again, this is an intuitive movie on Netflix. So, interactive movie on Netflix. So you press, okay, who is he talking to? At first, I think one of the options was Netflix. Eventually, I went with the other option. Eventually, I said Netflix. And he was like, what is Netflix? What is the streaming service? And again, each question that you click determines what happens next, because there's multiple endings. And there was one side where it looked like, wait a minute, is this even real? Is he a part of this government program? And him thinking that, you know, his mom died, all of that. Did that really happen? Because it looked like he was on a set, and it didn't. And it looked like a movie set, but it looked more so like they were trying to control him type of thing, because he went to his father's office, and in his father's office, he found files, and it was pictures, and it was dates, and it was just his whole life chronological order. And that's when he realized, oh no, I'm a part of a government conspiracy. That was in one alternate reality. And another one, we see his younger self, and we see, you know, we have to decide, does he go and just leave the day of his mother's death? Is he going to go with his mom, or is he not going to? I said no. I said no, we're not doing that. And unfortunately, what happens there is we see that, oh, like I said, it looked like, oh, was his mother just an actor? And another reality, when he thinks he's completely losing it, and again, I kept pressing, like, everything, don't hurt your dad, don't do this, don't do that. He eventually gets taken back to the same therapist, Dr. what was it, Haynes? And Dr. Haynes told him, hey, come on, focus. You have a lot going on, and maybe you need, I'll up your dosage. She did that. He stopped taking them, and then he eventually went back to the doctor. And she said, you know, there's something off. There's something off. And there were 2 times where there were fight scenes with the doctor. One time he actually fought the doctor, and that's what I said, what is going on here? The second time, I said no. Let me just go. I was like, jump out of the window. And when I did that, that's when the movie basically ended. Because that's when we saw that he was on the set, and the director looked at him like, are you okay? Dude, are you okay? What is your name? He was saying the name of his character. So, I'd never watched Black Mirror before. And um yeah, I don't know what to say. I was confused, I was lost, I was intrigued, but that was definitely an interesting way to end my 2018. So yes, Happy New Year, Happy 2019 to all. Again, my name is Romie Reviews. I do apparently now movie reviews. I've always done TV show reviews. I talk about music, and we just have a fun time over here. We just have a fun time. So relax, subscribe, leave a comment, come back, and I hope you see me again. I hope I hear from you.